guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so if you've been here, you know, especially from my last video, I have been sick. It's now been 3 weeks and I'm finally on the mend. I totally jinxed it in my last video thinking that I'm getting better. I was not. But now I'm finally like somewhat back to normal. So yay for that, yay. Anyways, I have a bunch of videos in the works, but I needed something quick and fun to do with you guys today because again, it's been 3 weeks of sickness. So I'm getting back into it slowly but surely. So bear with me. I appreciate you guys and your patience with me posting and everything. So thank you guys so much. As you can tell by the title of this video, we're doing the A through Z book tag. I literally just found this tag the other day and I thought, hey, that's pretty fun and it helps you guys get to know me. It'll help me get to know you guys as well. So I'm all for it. Let's get into it. A is an author you've read the most books from. I'm gonna take this as like not a series because if we're counting series, then does it really count? Like, I don't know if that's like different books from the same author. Like obviously it is, but again, like book math, like if they're in the same series, then they're like the same book. So if I'm counting just individual books that I've read from an author, it would have to be Stephen King. I've probably read the most books from Stephen King. Stephen King totally took first place in that one. Like, yeah, there's no competition there. B is best sequel ever. So I think this is very difficult because a lot of times, at least in book series that I've read, a lot of the sequels and the second book in the series are usually like the worst books in the series. Like New Moon, I DNF'd there. Mortal Instruments, DNF'd on the second book. The Immortal series, I couldn't get through. I think it was like the second one was just such a drag. So I feel like a lot of the second books in series are usually like the worst books in the series. So it's really, really impressive when an author can pull off the second book being just as good, if not better than the first one. And so I will say that the best sequels that I've read have been Akomoth and probably Apprentice to the Villain. Like I thoroughly enjoyed those. Oh, and Frostbite is the second book in the Vampire Academy series by Rochelle Mead. And I think I enjoyed Frostbite more than I enjoyed the first book, Vampire Academy. And that was like the first time I liked a sequel more than the first book. So yeah, Frostbite is on there. Akomoth, of course. Like you basically just trudge through Akatar to get to Akomoth. So Akomoth 100%. And then I think Apprentice to the Villain was also a really great sequel and I was not disappointed by that one either. C is currently reading. So I'm currently reading, I'm still getting through it. Again, I've been sick, you guys. I have not been reading as much as I've been wanting to. I'm almost done, but I'm still currently reading A Court of Silver Flames, and I'm buddy reading this with Anastasyia, my book talk bestie. So yes, still reading this one. And then on my Kindle, I'm reading Butcher and Blackbird. So those are what I'm currently getting through. Okay, next question is drink of choice. This is a difficult one. So I think like on the day-to-day, it's gonna be coffee and it's gonna be water. That's like my day-to-day. But I do really enjoy like an ice cold soda on occasion. Usually it's ginger ale, but occasionally like I spice it up and get like a different soda. I love Fanta, but I don't really buy it. I do like making like iced matcha lattes as well. Sometimes I do it with almond milk and then almond milk creamer. And then other times I will do it with almond milk protein shake. It just kind of depends what I'm in the mood for. In the winter time, sometimes I do like hot tea, but it's not very often. I'm not a big tea drinker. I prefer coffee. So yeah, those are my drinks of choice. E-reader or physical book? I'm a physical book girly all the way. I love just like having a book in my hands, getting to turn the pages, the smell of the book, the feel of the pages, the feel of the book, like all of it. I love having a book and then also getting to stack up my shelves with new books. So yeah, I'm gonna say a physical book I would prefer. However, ever since I've gotten into ebooks and getting my Kindle and Kindle Unlimited, I do really like Kindle Unlimited. You just can't beat the price and it's so nice to have like something so small to bring with you to like the gym or to go to like the park and like walk around. Even just like going anywhere, and it's just so thin that you can put it in your bag and you have all of these books on there. Like, I do love that. I think it's very convenient as well for like reading at nighttime, so you don't have like all these lights on. I do enjoy ebooks, but I'm always going to choose a physical book over an ebook or audiobook. That's just my preference. Okay, F is a fictional character you would have dated in high school. So I'm gonna say I didn't really read a lot of books in high school, actually. I was so busy with everything else. But in middle school, like early middle school though, I did read. So I guess I'm gonna have to choose like a book that I read in middle school that took place in high school. I'm gonna have to go with Sam from the Wolves of Mercy Falls series by Maggie Stuffater. Sam was just, he was just it for me. He was so sweet. I totally would have loved to have dated him in high school. It was Sam all the way. So protective, so kind. I think their first date, if I remember it correctly, was in a bookshop. I mean, who would pass up on that? So yeah, I would say Sam. G is glad you gave this book a chance. Oh, I gotta look at my shelves for this one. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to go with Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, because I honestly never thought I would actually get to that book on my shelf. Like, other books I will leave on my shelf for so long and I'm like, I will eventually get to it. But Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, I did not think I would ever get to, just because I was worried I would be crying the whole entire time, and I was so pleasantly surprised by how comical it was. Like, I was just laughing and giggling like the whole entire time. It was such a fun read and I was not expecting that, so I'm really happy that I gave it a go. It was a good book. Okay, H is hidden gem. Like, what do you mean by that? I'm not really sure what this question is. Like, hidden gem. I would assume that that's a book that like isn't really popular, that was like really good. And I don't really think, I think most of the books that I have were popular at some point in time. So I'm gonna go with a book I just never heard of until I was told about it, and that would be Hidden Pictures. My best friend told me about it. I had no idea what it was about. I had no idea the book even existed, and I did enjoy it and I had fun reading it. I want to say with her, but I read it after her. But I had a lot of fun. It was an enjoyable book. So yeah, that was a hidden gem for me. Important moment in your reading life. I think there were a lot of important moments in my reading life. Like, I want to say, like, anytime I wasn't really reading anything and then a friend or someone close to me was like, hey, like, let's read this together, or hey, this book is really great, please give it a go, like, please read it, like, it's so good. And so I think those were really important times in my reading life, just because it got me back into reading. But I think now I would have to say being a part of the book talk community, just being a part of like the book community in general, I would say has been so rewarding and so fun. And it's just so nice to be able to interact with other people who love books as much as I do and enjoy reading them and being able to discuss them. Yeah, that would probably be like the most important moment in my reading life. It was very monumental. That would be it for me. Okay, J is just finished. What book did I just finish? Oh yeah, okay, so it was Flowers in the Attic. It was a wild ride. Wild ride. I'm surprised it doesn't have some trigger warnings, but it's an older book, so it doesn't, but it was really messed up and also incredibly engaging. I could not put it down. So much was happening. K is the kind of book you won't read. I mean, anything really nonfiction. I'm okay. I don't know. Nonfiction just isn't it for me. I do think like memoirs are a little bit different. I have dipped my toes in some memoirs and those are better for nonfiction, but I think like the majority of nonfiction, it's not my go-to. I don't really pick it up often, and whenever I do, I rarely ever, again, except for memoirs, I never really finish them. Not for me, not my kind of books. L is the longest book you've read. That's gonna have to be it. I don't think that book is so massive. I don't think I have any book that rivals that page count. Like, I want to say it was over 1,000 pages, but I think It by Stephen King is probably the biggest book I've ever read. So yeah, it was worth it though. I did enjoy it. That's probably my favorite Stephen King book. Oh, I did like Long Walk too. Long Walk was also really good, and I am liking some of the Dark Tower books. Some of them are really good. That wasn't was the question of which one I like more. So yeah, it is really long. Longest book I've read. M is major book hangover because of blank. You know, I think no book has emotionally impacted me in the same way as Stolen by Lucy Christopher. I read that in high school. I was just, yeah, I was completely beside myself for so long. I was crying. I threw the book across the room. It was a whole dramatic ordeal. That book just really, really got to me, especially at the time. Yeah, I don't think any book has given me quite the hangover as Stolen has. So I'm gonna stick with Stolen for this one. Okay, N is the number of bookshelves you own. So I don't know if I want to count all of my bookshelf because some of my bookshelf is also like textbooks from school and then notebooks and stuff for writing. So I don't know if I want to count those 3 shelves. Like sometimes I do stack books on one of them. So maybe I'll count that one. I'm not going to count 2 of my bookshelves on my bookshelf itself. So to count it that way, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, one book you've read multiple times. Wow, okay. Stolen is gonna take this. I'm not really a big rereader. I do plan to reread a few books this year, but I have reread Stolen on a number of occasions. So I will say Stolen. That's like the only book I've reread. P is preferred place to read. I don't really have like I'd rather read here. So I read in my room, I read on my bed, and then I also read downstairs in the living room, on the couch. I read on the chairs downstairs, in the den, and in the living room. I'll also read at Barnes. I will also read at coffee shops. I will also read outside. In like the rocking chair outside, and that's like a vibe. I think what I prefer is not necessarily like where I'm at, but it's like, is it quiet? Am I comfortable? Do I have good lighting? Is it the right ambiance that I'm going for with whatever it is that I'm reading? Yeah, that's kind of what I go for. That's gonna be my preferred spot. So if one of my spots are taken, I'm just gonna go to the next one that has those requirements for me. Okay, Q, quote that inspires you. I think I'm just gonna start putting them here because I have a lot of quotes. I had a whole quote journal, so all of these quotes. R is reading regrets. I regret, especially last year, feeling the need to finish a book even though I wasn't enjoying it. Like I don't know why, but I hated DNFing last year. I just didn't want to do it. I was like, I started reading this book, I just need to get through it. I just need to get through it. And I think doing that last year made me feel far more comfortable DNFing this year. But I definitely regret wasting time reading books that I wasn't really vibing with last year because I didn't have a lot of books that I really enjoyed last year. And I'm finding that this year, since I have been DNFing and really going towards books that are calling to me and like trying to get out of my comfort zone with reading, I think that that's been really, really helpful to find really great books. Like I've been rating books far higher this year than I did last year. So I do regret not DNFing. S is series you've started and need to finish. I have a long list and there goes my dog. ACOTAR, for one. Obviously Assistant to the Villain, it's up there. And the Empyrean series, I don't know if I'm gonna continue with that. We'll see how Onyx Storm goes, but I'm doubtful. I also have the Dark Tower series, Vampire Academy, because I DNF'd that years ago. Gosh, I was so young. And then also the Mortal Instruments series, the Flowers in the Attic series. I think that's it. As far as like things I've started that I plan to complete eventually, and then whenever I get to some of my other books on my TBR, I'm gonna have even more series that I'll be starting that I will need to finish. So this is gonna be a pretty long list one of these days. T is 3 of your all-time favorite books. This is so difficult. I think also because like I have favorite books when I was younger. I just don't know if they're still gonna be my favorite today because I haven't reread them. And then also I keep getting more favorite books. So like picking 3 is really difficult. I know for starters, Wild Darkshore is definitely up on the list. Peaches and Honey by R. Rada is also up there. Honestly, like that, the whole duology was just like, mwah, loved that. I'm struggling to pick the 3rd one. I'm gonna choose Vicious. Actually, no, I want to choose Vengeful. I liked Vengeful. I think a little bit more. I'm gonna choose Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. I think those are like my 3 favorites at the moment. I'm probably gonna like edit this later and be like, actually, I want to switch it. But for right now, in this current moment, those are my picks. U is unapologetic fangirl for ACOTAR. I don't know what kind of crack cocaine Sarah J. Maas is sprinkling in her books, but the characters are so delightful. Like, I love reading about them. It feels like I'm reading about like family. I always just feel like I know what's going on. It's just like, it's such an easy read, and it's so engaging and just immersive into, oh, I know this world and I love this world and I love these characters. And then Rhysand is just perfect in so many ways. So I'm an unapologetic fangirl for that franchise. Whole thing. Love it. V is very excited about this release. I mentioned this in my last video, but I'm super excited for Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. And then I'm also really excited for, I want to say it's Accomplice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Meyer. Really excited for both of those. W is worst bookish habit. I'm terrible at keeping my books organized. I think I have such a chaotic bookshelf. It's just ridiculous. Like, I take books out to make content, which is also, this is also why I haven't taken any books out for this video, is because I take them out and I make content and I'll do TikToks or I'll make a YouTube video, and then I just like stack them and I can't be bothered to put them back in their respected places. And it's just chaotic. And I think that that's probably my worst book habit, is having a very disordered shelves and cases. Worst habit. Okay, X marks the spot. Pick the 27th book from your top shelf. I mean, I have my bookshelf over here, but technically my top shelf, like my highest shelf in the room, is going to be that top shelf. We're gonna do that one. This will be the only book that I take out for this video. And that is gonna be Forever by Maggie Stuffader. This is the 3rd and final book, apart from like the spin-off in the series, in the Wolves of Mercy Falls series. I didn't really love this book. I honestly can't even tell you what'll happen in this book. I absolutely adored Shiver. That's where Sam is from. Linger was okay, not my favorite. And then the rest of the series, again, just okay. I think Shiver was like the Katniss Everdeen of that universe. So yeah, it's okay. But yeah, so that's the 27th book from my top shelf. Okay, why is your last purchase? My last purchase was Butcher and Blackbird on my Kindle. Z, oh, we're at the end. Oh my gosh, okay. Z is Z Snatcher, a book that kept you up way too late. And I lied. I may be grabbing another book. Okay, so apart from like making videos and trying to stay up late, like for my 24-hour reading challenge, which went terribly, I may have to redo that one because that one was awful. Like, it was so pitiful. I could not stay up that late. But I think the last time I actually just could not put a book down and it kept me up very late was reading The Butterfly Garden by Dot Hutchison. It kept me up way later. I think I had work. Yeah, I definitely had work in the morning and I just could not stop reading. I just kept reading and kept reading. And I think I stayed up until like 2 or 3 a.m. just out of pure choice to continue to read and not because I was doing a challenge. So I'm gonna choose this one. If you haven't read it, I would recommend. Yeah, that was the last question. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for bearing with me while I've been sick. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and getting to know a little bit more about me with this book tag. If you guys want, it would be cool to know your answers to these questions, so comment down below because I'm tagging you. Anyways, thank you again for watching. If you guys like book related content, please be sure to comment down below. What are you currently reading? Are you enjoying it? Give me everything, all the good stuff. Also, don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button if you want to see some more book content. Until next time, happy reading.